What is up, man? We are going to have some fun today because this is actually my third call where I will actually be checking people's homework. So this should be interesting. We had 2 sessions today of doing this with my Lean on Laurel students. And so I'm on fire now. Like I'm ready to check some homework. Who wants to go first? Who has their goal and their solvable problem? And share that and share their screen. Who wants to be the guinea pig?
I'll go.
Yeah, let's do this. Hey, Contessa, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, my little Dallas friend.
Oh, so yeah, trying to stay warm today.
I was gonna say, I think we're about to get that cold front later on today. It's gonna be in like 19 degrees here. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
It was just 80 degrees last week.
I know, right? Okay, so I am kind of starting fresh here. The numbers that I have are kind of convoluted with a bunch of other crap, so I'm just wiping the slate clean.
Okay.
And so what I'm looking at my goal to be is to have 150 conversations in Messenger over the next 90 days using the daily action plan that you have laid out for us.
I freaking love that. This call is getting off to a really good start. So 150 conversations. So what is going to be the tactic that you're going to be doing that? Is that going to be like power content and 2-step post or
Yes.
all organic?
All organic, yes.
Awesome.
That way I can actually understand what my solvable problem actually is instead of guessing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what I was telling my students this morning. It's like when you have zero data, you have to look at, okay, cool. Like a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to get results in 90 days. I'm like, well, I like to say we're going to get data over the next 90 days over what we need to solve over the next. So it's almost like you have to set yourself up. So I love that 150 conversations, they're 2-step posts. And so now Contessa's going to know how many 2-step posts do I have to get to have X amount of comments, to have X amount of messenger conversations. And then how many conversations turn into, are you going to be selling them through Messenger or are you going to be getting them over application?
Getting them on a call.
Perfect. So Messenger application call. Perfect. Awesome. Good job. Any questions about you sound like you were rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I don't know how long I've been here, for at least 2, maybe 3 years. And I've been like, zooming off in all kinds of different directions instead of just sticking with one plan. And so that's my plan, is just to stick with one plan.
Yeah, it's so funny because like some of my students, like on an earlier call, I was like, y'all are making social media so much harder on you guys. It's really this easy. All you have to do is pick one thing and just do that thing. Like I lifted up the Google Doc and I was like, do not do anything that is not on this sheet. Because that's where a lot of people, like, they tend to like, well, I need to do this virtual. I'm like, no, if you just do this one thing, like, right, like there's no need to do virtual summits. There's no need to do all of this other stuff. Like if you do just this one activity for 90 days, you will have your goal hit. Like, why would we want to do anything else, right? So she gets a gold star. Who wants to go next?
I don't mind going, Laurel.
Yeah.
So my goal is to actually sell 2,500 of my ebook. 2,500 copies.
2,500 copies of your ebook?
Mm-hmm.
How much is your ebook?
$4.99.
$4.99?
Yes.
Okay. What is the solvable problem that you're going to use to get there?
So I'm actually going to focus mainly using ads. The last 90 days, I've been collecting all the data. So I have a really good idea of how much it costs to acquire a purchase and then how many of those purchasers end up in my bigger program.
Awesome. How much does it take to acquire a customer?
So it's anywhere from around $15, but with the holidays, I noticed it jumped up to around $29. So I'm hoping it will go back down in the new year.
Okay. So over the next 90 days, you want to get 2,500 copies. So 2,500 times 15 is the math you did on that?
Yep.
On fire. And what is typically your upsell rate from customer acquisition into your back end offer?
So that's been a little iffy too, because I have changed around my funnel. So I do need to get a better perspective of that. So for the last, I would say probably 4 weeks, I changed around my email structure, my call to actions. And so I'm getting a lot better application rates. And I didn't have that in the initial, 8-week period.
Okay. So you're good as far as like your back end program, as far as like filling that?
Yes, I am. I've been very happy with the applications I've been getting. I feel like the book is really pre-qualifying my leads. And then if they're not, it's easier for me to spot. So I'm not, on a call for 45 minutes or an hour with somebody who's just truly not ready for that next step.
Yep, I love that. I love that. You see where Heather is actually adding this $4.99 product. You see where she's using it. Because a lot of people want to do that backwards, right? They're like, well, if I start people on this, it's going to ascend people, but she's already backfilled her high ticket. So now she's got a lot of cash to be able to actually put some friction points in front of her lead generation, right? Too many people put too many friction points in front of their lead generation before it's time, right? Because if you need volume, right, we don't want to put a friction point in front of volume if you need, because volume is, some of you guys need more volume. But Heather doesn't need more volume. She needs more friction to get higher quality. And a lot of people confuse the two. And that's, in my opinion, the best use of a low ticket product, in my opinion. Other people have other opinions, but that's, in my opinion, the best way to introduce a low ticket item.
I've done this a lot of different ways, and I will say that I'm enjoying the low ticket, this funnel, the best out of everything else I've done.
Awesome. I love that. Any questions as you were going through the exercise and going through these numbers? And by the way, you get a gold star too. That's awesome.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I guess my biggest question is like, okay, because I started this funnel with the testing during Black Friday and Christmas, like I do feel like the numbers might be inflated. So like, should I just always guess on the higher end and then hope to be surprised? Or, like what are some strategies around that?
Absolutely. Like I always tell people, like around November and December, throw out your acquisition costs because they're always going to be higher. For me, like, and my clients, it's typical this time of the year.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate
and that's important. And that's important to track too. It's one of those things where instead of like tracking, because like November, December, there's a kind of like single data points, right? I like to track trends. And so like after a year of running this funnel, Heather, you're going to see like, okay, wow, November, December plan for higher acquisition costs. January, February, March, you might have a little bit dip to where like, you're like, okay, cool. Like my costs. And then you might notice another peak, right? Like going into summer. And so it's important to just know so that you can be prepared next year for those,
Sure.
for those types of things.
Sure. Awesome. I have a really massive Excel file where I'm tracking all of it, day by day, week by week, and month by month. So it's so fun to track that and see the trends over time.
Yep. I love tracking because tracking always leads to money.
Yes. So true.
That's what I was telling my students earlier. I was like, man, I was like, the more I track, the more money I make. I don't know how that's just, you pay attention. Like who is it that says, what you track, you attract.
Yes. Yep.
Firm believer in that.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Okay, we're 2 for 2. Who's going to totally mess this up? No, I'm kidding. Y'all are already doing better than my Lean on Laurel students this morning. So who's next?
I can go.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, cool beans. Then I will lower my hand. I wasn't.
Is this Phyllis?
It is, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing good. Lay it on me, lady.
Well, I got a feeling you're gonna say no to something, but anyway.
No, that's okay. That's how we all learn. I'm waiting for someone to make a mistake so that we can have a learning moment.
Right. So we still have to figure out what number of conversations I need to have to book 15 calls, because the way I was doing before stopped working and it was getting a lot of freebie seekers. Remember the hook post I was talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So that used to get me 58 calls booked, 38.
So let's take one step back. What's your goal? What's your measure?
Well, my goal is 17 women into my hormone coaching course.
Okay. Okay.
And then we were working the numbers, and it looks like I need 58 calls booked because the show up about 38 people will show up out of 58, which closes me roughly 16. And that used to take 2 posts and a client testimonial. But I had to go through a lot of freebie seekers with that type of post. You had told me that's why it was the type of post. So I don't know how many of the my strategy is the 2-step, be the client 2-step. And I
Mhm.
don't have the data yet on how many of those I need to do in order to book 58 calls to get to this 17 number, the
Okay.
17 coaching clients. However, because as you know, I'm in fitness and we always do a challenge,
Yeah.
every fitness person challenge at the beginning of the year. And that is something that is happening, and it starts on January 9th. And my goal, I've already enrolled 8 people with organic posts. And it doesn't even start until the 9th, and I've only put out 2 posts for it so far. So I want to put ad dollars behind that. And this is where I think you're going to tell me no. So
Well, I guess I'm confused. Like we were
right,
talking about something else and then you started talking about this.
right,
So
because it's a
what,
revenue builder for right now. That's what that's yeah. So and it brings in an influx of people for me to try to filter into the coaching course. It's just one of those things that in fitness we always do a challenge. So I think I'm having a hard time breaking away from that. That's what I was saying. I think you're gonna tell me no.
what is the conversion rate from challenge into your high ticket?
Very small numbers. It's usually like 2 or 3 people out of 50 that will actually convert.
Then why do all the hard work? Why not focus on just getting people into your high ticket? Like why do why put a friction point when there doesn't need to be?
Because it brings
Yeah,
in
I'm
money
just
right
total
now.
devil's advocate. But
Yeah,
do you see
it brings in money right now. That's why.
how much revenue are we talking?
Well, we're going for 3K. But so far it's brought in 200 with out of 2 posts. Because it's very low ticket. Very, very. It's 25. It's 25 bucks. Not like it is 25 bucks. But it's very little effort on my part. It's already done. They go on a Facebook group and they're just being held accountable by each other.
Gotcha. And what's the date of that challenge?
January 9th. And it's also something I'm really pushing hard for so that I can join Lean on Laurel.
Yeah. Honestly, it's too late to run ads for that offer. Like
Yeah.
it's way too late. Like I always tell people, like before a challenge or for a live event, give it 4 weeks, because here's what's going to happen. The first 2 weeks you're going to spend testing ads, and the first week you're probably going to spend time trying to get Facebook to approve your ads.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's in my and plus you're looking at you're looking at Christmas and stuff like that. I would
Right.
keep doing things organically, especially because it's a paid challenge, right? How much is the cost of the challenge?
25 bucks.
It's $25. Are you willing to spend $70 to acquire a $25 customer?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you like if it is like a cash infusion, keep pushing it organically and just pump out volume. That's all you can do,
Okay.
right? Power content, volume, 2 steps, however it is that you need to get people in. Because we always want to do things with the least amount of risk, right?
Exactly.
Anytime we add an unknown like ads, that's adding risk. We always want to do things with the least amount of risk first. And least amount of risk is doing what's already working is your organic.
Okay. Because I was gonna just run to warm traffic, but you're saying just don't bother with it. It's gonna cost too much money right now.
I think it's gonna cost. I think it's gonna sink you with cash flow. I think you're gonna end up spending more money than making on a $25 product at this point.
Okay. Cool beans.
Then it would kind of like defeat the purpose of a cash infusion, right?
Exactly. It'll be a wash.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. So for the goal of the 17 women in your coaching program and getting the 58 calls.
Uh-huh.
So that's 58 calls over the 90 days, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, it'd be great if I could do it in a month, but that's just
Yeah, no,
kill myself.
Yeah, no, that I like to keep things realistic. So that's 58 divided by 3. Yeah, so that's about 19 calls a month. So
Okay. And I
averaging
had a
about one
call.
or two a day.
I have, well, obviously it's not a done deal until they actually sign up. I have 4 ladies that I've actually had calls with already that are waiting for the new year to come into the course. Of course, until they actually pull the trigger.
Yep. I would work out something like a fast action bonus.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. Go back to them
Yeah.
and say, hey, I worry about it sounding like a backtrack kind of thing.
Well, so I'll just use this as a place. No one knows about this. You guys want my fast action bonus if you join Lean on Laurel before January 1st?
Yes.
I've literally built like the best like the next 90 days in the Lean on Laurel program is gonna freaking rule. And I've never done this before. And so many people are like, can I get this done? How many of you guys are still dragging your feet when it comes to actually setting up the ads? So at the beginning of the cohort, we're actually going to do a 2-day ads accelerator where I will literally help you write, shoot, and launch all your ads within 2 days.
Yes,
So
that's a no-brainer.
that's literally going to be included. Plus, we're going to be doing live workshops on how to use YouTube for high ticket coaching offers. We're going to talk about the $5 a day DM funnel that my clients are using to enroll 5 to 10 new clients a month. Scott can tell you about all of that, like the results of like doing that. It's freaking phenomenal. I have never, ever ran an ad strategy like as much as I have this. I'll actually just show you guys this really quick if I can. Let's see. Like just, I went into the Facebook group and like screenshotted like the results. Like I've honestly like this, I've never like been able to book calls and enroll clients. Look at this, $10,000 a month, $754 in ad spend, $400, $8,494 in revenue. They were averaging $400 a call. Now they're averaging $20 a call, $754, 10K. Power offer ads, $6 a call. Book 3 calls from ads today at $11 a call. Like I am like never seen numbers like this. And that's from the the $5 a day DM funnel. So we're going to be working on that in Lean on Laurel. And also we're going to be doing the client accelerator ecosystem, which is my multi-platform, so that you have a client acquisition system, not only for Facebook, but for another platform, so that when Facebook decides, Phyllis can't run those ads and it shuts you down, you already have a backup that's already running and bringing in clients. And yeah, all of these are different niches. Scott will tell you, Scott just went through, he actually is one of my Rockstar students, just graduated from the program. His goal was to make enough money to retire and be able to watch his baby grandson. His baby grandson came to the calls, and Scott, what we accomplished it in five months. He was able to, now he's making what consistent, 10K, 11K months, something like that. Started from like pretty much ground up business, just within 5 months, worked his ass off. We worked on his offer, everything. But all different niches. He helps other retirement, people that are fund their retirement using a coaching business. We've got someone in the fitness niche. We've got CPAs. We've got people in brick and mortar. We've got like a brick and mortar gym. Anyway, I just wanted to, she was bringing up the fast action bonus thing. So I thought that was a neat little thing to sneak in here. Because I know a lot of you guys have, I'm going to be personally reaching out to everybody, but if you haven't reached out to me or commented on one of my posts, go ahead and do that. I can only take, I think there's 14 seats open right now. We keep it small. Scott will tell you there's only a handful of people on the calls. It's very intimate. I keep the program super, super small. But yeah, everyone congratulate Scott, because that is huge, 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 huge. I feel like I watched his baby grandson grow, and his grandson's going to know how to run ads. Let me tell you that. He's only probably 8 months old, already knows how to run ads. Probably running Scott's ads right now.
He's actually in the car heading to New Hampshire with his parents right now, which is why he's not on this call. But he says to say hello.
Oh, little Jasper, so cute. But anyway, I just kind of snuck my little offer in right there. But yeah, Phyllis, 58 calls in the next 90 days, averaging probably 1 call a day. Maybe some days where you're off and you don't get a call, I think you'll be fine. use the weekly Q&As and the Zoom coaching calls, and your next 90 days are going to look a lot different than the past 90 days. I guarantee it.
I'm so excited. Thank you. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah. Yep. So if you want to see the offer, just go make a post on the my post in the $7 program. I think I pinned it to the featured section. I'll be reaching out to everyone individually. So we'll each chat, and I'll show you guys the whole thing, the whole shebang, everything you get and all that fun stuff. But like I said, it's my favorite. And there's so many people who are like, can we have like a day where we're just setting, because they saw my event in Dallas. They're like, can we do a virtual one? I can't really come to Dallas. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell it as a separate thing, but since I'm just launching it, I'm just including it with Lean on Laurel this first time. Who's next? Someone, just go.
I can go.
Yeah. Is that Alma?
Yes.
Hey.
Hey. So this is for a high ticket group coaching program.
Okay.
The goal is to have four members, $997. And in the past, I have 80% closing, but I'm going for 100 messenger calls. That's sort of my
Conversation
problem. Yes.
How well do your messenger conversations convert to a phone call?
So I don't know. That's why I'm going for 100 because the ones where I've had the 80% ratio has been in person.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that makes sense why you would go for 100 messenger conversations. So 100 conversations, yeah, I mean, that's hardly nothing. That's like one a day over the 90-day period, right? A little over one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
how well do your 2-step posts normally do?
I just started. I'm on my 3rd day. So far, only like a comment or 2. So like I said, I just started. I posted on my Facebook page, and it's sort of new as well. So there's not a lot of
or like I always tell people, if you're going to do organic, do it on your profile. It's easier to get traction, because doing organic on your business page isn't going to do much unless you're using like the $5 ads to kind of start building up that audience.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that today then.
Yeah, which is what we're gonna like. One of the specialties of Lean on Laurel is dialing in that organic strategy that we're talking about right now, and then turbocharging it with like $5 ads. But we can't do that until we get the messaging and everything correct.
Yes.
But yeah, that $5 messenger funnel, man, turbocharges this entire organic strategy. It's crazy.
Oh.
So out of those 2 comments, did anyone turn into a messenger conversation or no?
No.
Okay. Why not?
It was just like, oh, this sounds great. I guess I did follow up with one of them. I guess it was a conversation. It just didn't.
What was the post?
So the one where I got the comment was on, let me think. It was about the steps for scaling the business, like the things that you have to do before you think about scaling. So sort of like an audit or assessment. That was the topic. So yeah, the comment was just like, oh, great info. So I just said like, thank you. And I just sent them a little message, and that was it.
Okay.
But I didn't hear back. So
Gotcha.
that was just yesterday. So.
Okay. Did you offer a value bomb on that one or no?
I'd offer a worksheet that they can fill out to find out where, to do that assessment with their business, to find out where they are.
Okay. Yeah. So no, I think that's great. Like four new members at $997 is the ultimate goal. But now hey, 100 messenger conversations. So and so this is important for everyone. So this is where the weekly posts and the Zoom coaching calls come into play, because let's say she goes another week and she's like, Laurel, my posts are not getting any traction, right? She just goes into the weekly Ask Laurel and says, hey, these are the 3 posts I did this week. Why is no one commenting? Right. And then I can help her move forward. Right. So make sure that you guys are utilizing this over the next 90 days, because like I said, everything that we're going to do here is going to be able to optimize everything. Don't stay stuck. Like, don't go 2 weeks and you haven't had a single comment. Let's figure out why, fix it, and tweak it along the way. Good job. That's great. I know a lot of you guys are just like, hey, I'm just trying to get the data for the first 90 days, but that's going to be the hardest. That's the longest part of the process right there, is getting the data for the first 90 days. Who's next?
I'll jump.
Yeah. Hey, Joel.
What's up, Laurel? I've got 3 verticals. I've got my own business. I've got the webinar, which is obviously the buyers. The third one's I'm rolling out a course. And I did the Sam Cart program of how to build out a course. I'm working through all that stuff.
Yep.
And figuring out the pricing. But Dan Henry had a very cool model where he invited people to a 2-hour webinar for $9.97 to hold the spot. And then if you want a recording of that, you just let them know. And that was really slick. So I'm trying to get proof of concept if there's an audience for my course. So I was going to sell my ebook of, if I could show you how to make 6 figures in gross commission income without paying for leads, with getting motivated buyers, and it's just doing open houses the way I've been doing it. Would you take me up to the offer, selling it maybe for $97? My goal is to get 200 people to buy the book, and then 50 people to actually opt in, because I don't have an OTO, right? I don't have an upsell, but maybe my upsell is, hey, listen, it's a schedule a call to find out what they're looking for, so I can build that out without building out hours of video to see what people are really looking for, but also do a 2-3 hour webinar, all questions go, and then do that Dan Henry strategy, which I thought was slick. It's free, but if you want the recording, just let me know and I'll keep your $9.97. I thought that was slick.
Yeah, I remember when he did that. So you want 200 people to buy the book, and then the book funnels them to the webinar, or?
It was going to be both. The book would funnel them to the webinar because they're a warmer traffic source, I guess. And then I would also market it as well. And I got to go through so much to watch. I got to blend watching, consuming, and action, but I got to go through your organic stuff as well to see if I got some money, but honestly, with the market changing, cash flow is starting to weigh heavier than leads.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons why I built like the discovery call accelerator, even though like I don't sell things over a phone anymore. Like it works like just selling stuff in Messenger. And the reason that I built it the way that I built it is because, like, have you guys noticed, like, funnels do not work the way that they used to? Like, that's the reason why Cole Gordon is making a shit ton of money right now, is because webinar funnels and application funnels and all of that, like, funnels alone are not doing the job. Like, people are seeing their like profits drop because you can no longer just have like a hands-off funnel anymore. Like, we are seeing like the only way that we can squeeze out, and this is what Cole and them promised too, is 30 to 40x return on ad spend, is by creating all of these touch points throughout. After people opt in, how do you create that lead experience that takes them from lead to client? And that's one of the biggest things that like we had to shift, was like, how do we create that lead journey? Because like, if you just want an automated funnel hands off, you're gonna lose your ass on ads in 2023. Like, that's why I've been teaching what I've been teaching for a while now. I've been preparing everyone for this because we saw it happen, right? Last year ad costs went up. So how do we recoup the ad costs? We get as much out of our ad spend as humanly possible by a reverse organic, right? That's why I showed you guys that reverse organic that's in the program, is because how do we utilize leads we've already paid for and funnel them through another experience because we've already paid for them? Yep. So 200 people buy the book. How much is the book again?
I'm toying between 47 or 97.
Okay.
And I'm also toying. I started writing the book, and the guy said, have it not crazy long, like 3,000 words. And I was at like 6,500 words and said, whoa, I'm giving away everything. That should be more robust. So I'm in the beginning phases. So it's a little trial and error. I think I just strip it down, do the 47. There'll be more questions to get them on the 997 call. They can ask more questions. It will be ideas, a proof of concept, additional topics to build out in a more robust course if there's conversion. And also they can have the whole recording, which will drive revenue of 997.
Okay. So what is your plan to get people to buy the book? What is the solvable problem?
it's the solvable problem is people need to generate cash flow without paying for leads. So if I could show you,
No. What's the solvable problem? Like, what are you going to do to get people to buy? Like, what's the measurable thing that you're going to do in order to get 200 sales in 90 days?
just so I understand, I'm going to probably run paid ads, and I don't
Okay.
know what my CAC is, my client acquisition cost, but I just I could throw, say, a budget of 500 just to test it out, or do I need considerably more?
You might get one conversion with that $500.
So this is why I'm glad I have you on the call, because that's not going to work for me.
So on a $97, like $47 to $97 product, you're probably going to spend about $200 or $300 before you even get one sale. And then you'll probably get a sale between 400 and 500. And you'll probably like get a couple of other sales because it's just starting to optimize. But at optimization, the goal is to break even. That's the goal. Now, how fast that happens. And so that's why a lot of people, like, I always remember how a while ago I was saying volume versus friction point. That's a major friction point when you need volume coming through your funnel. So it's kind of a hard, books are hard, even book funnels are hard. So I'll just tell you, like, for a $7 book funnel, are you familiar with the pay free plus shipping offer, which is like usually $7? Typically those are $60 to $70 to acquire a $7 book sale. The free plus shipping, that's $60 to $70. But most people who are running them don't mind because they have like a higher end program on the back, and they know their numbers. And so they know that, you know, every person that buys the book is worth X amount of dollars. So when you don't know what you don't know, if you're trying to sell a $47 product, I would at least start as a test $1,000 over 3 days. Would be what I would be.
$1,000 budget over 3 days.
Yeah.
Whew.
3 days to 7 days. Like, if you want to spread it out, that's fine. But that's typically how we test local offers. And the way that we do that is we spend $1,000 and hope to get 10 sales.
I mean, I don't even know if that's worth. I guess if I get 10 sales and I get 10% conversion of people coming to the 997, I'm at break even.
Yeah, that's going to be even harder. You've got so many friction points. Like, a lot of people who are going to buy the book. I think Dan Henry can do it because he's Dan Henry. I think it's going to be really hard to get people to put down $1,000 to come to a webinar.
Maybe I just scratch that and just go back to the buyer webinar, build up more piles of cash from traditional buying and selling real estate, and then revisit paid ads.
Yeah, I think it's like the real estate niche is like really, like, it's a really profitable. Like, I have several students who are realtors, and they sell like products for realtors to help realtors, you know, market their real estate business, and they do really well. But my fear is that you don't have the ad budget to be able to support this type of funnel.
I mean, I could layer on an affiliate program, right, as an upsell, but that starts getting more complicated. I still need to spend 4 figures to get enough data points to see if it's working. So
what is the ultimate thing that you want to do, though? Like, on the back end of the book, you said there's a $997 webinar. What is on the back end of that webinar that you're trying to sell?
it's a different medium. Rather than showing how to generate 6 figures doing open houses, they could do Q&A. It'll break them through my exact scripts. They can see the role playing. They can ask questions. It'll go through all the questions I ask, how I frame things, how I stage things, how to set everything up. And these are obviously very motivated buyers, and I don't have to do Zillow ads or any of this. Pay 30%.
How much are you selling that for?
This is still building out proof of concept to see. There's a little imposter syndrome because these guys doing 100 million a year are selling courses for $200. But the idea was to sell the 990s, that Dan Henry model of $997, and then during the question part of the Q&A, say, what did you want based on the questions they have? Say, hey, listen, I need questions, and based on those questions, A, if there's turnout, then that's going to show me this proof of concept, and B, based on the questions they asked me during the Q&A sections, I can start building out a video course. But I don't want to spend the hours of filming video content if there's no market. I think there is, but
yeah, it's hard. Dan Henry has built a huge audience of people, and even that, I don't know if y'all, like, there wasn't a big turnout on that webinar at all.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it wasn't that, there wasn't that many people. I think there was what, 20, 21
Well,
people?
he said, I think it's like 40 or 50, like 30, 40, what I heard, but he said that in the case study, he said like 27 people said keep the money. So that's still
Yeah.
27 grand for 3 hours of work. It was
But
like,
think about how huge his audience is, and that's all he got on that webinar.
yeah. Now there is a guy, another realtor that's doing how to make money in open houses. He's selling his program for $997. And part of me was thinking maybe I should buy it just to see his funnel, but I don't really need to spend the $997 just to see.
I don't think you need to. Like, I think you should go for volume, prove the concept of the webinar, like just run ads for the live webinar to realtors and pitch them what you were going to pitch them. You don't have to build like the way that I sold Lean on Laurel the very first time. So Lean on Laurel used to be like a $2,000 program, like back, like whenever I first started, like 4.5 years ago, right? $2,000 program. I sold the first 20 seats before I built it. I told people, I said, look, I'm building this program. You guys, like, my agency's full. I know there's a lot of you guys that want handholding when it comes to your ad strategy. Do you guys want in? I'm going to take 20 people. I'm going to do live workshops where I will literally help you build out your strategies, do all of your ads, and we will do this over 45 days. Hadn't created a single thing. Within 2 days, I sold all 20 seats to this, but I didn't have anything built. Because people love being a part of beta programs because they got more time with me than any of the other people in any of my other programs because I was building it with them. And so they were able to give me feedback, right? Like how many of you guys were in the Natalie and no, not Natalie, Nina and Ginger test group for the 7-day organic marketing sprint, right? A lot of you guys got kick in the pants by me hand holding. I was doing that because I wanted to see how people were going through the program. So the people who opted in to go to their, I told Nina, don't tell anyone I'm going to be in there helping, because then everyone would go just because I'm in there helping. But I surprised everyone. I was like, hey guys, I'm here. I'm watching everything that you're doing. But people love being a part of like those beta type programs. I think if I were you and I really wanted to make this high ticket thing work, I would go for volume, so that you can get the volume to prove the concept, right? Because if you get 100 people on a webinar and you can convert 5 out of the 100 to a high ticket beta, proof of concept right there.
So maybe a $7 ebook.
No, no, free.
Free
Mhm.
book. Okay.
Don't add any friction points. What, like you're gonna did I not just tell you how much a $7 lead costs?
Yeah. 50 bucks. Yeah. Free book, and then give them an option if they want to go. That's cool.
I wouldn't even do free book. I would just do free webinar. Like I'm doing a lot. Hey, realtors, are you having this problem and you want to see how I spent X amount of years fixing it? If I could show you how I fixed it in 60 minutes versus the amount of years it took me to figure this out, want to see how I did it for free? Click the link below and join me. I'm going to be live, not only on the webinar, but I'll be there to answer questions after.
Then how do I monetize that later?
You sell your high ticket program on the webinar.
Okay, before it's built out.
Yeah, like you just say, like just like what I did, like, hey, here's the deal, guys. Like you guys probably got a lot of value out of this, but what if over the next several months, I literally helped you build this out for your real estate business? Now, this is a program I'm going to sell for $20,000, but here's the deal. I haven't built it yet. I need your help building it. And in exchange for your help in me building this, I'm going to offer it for 1/4 of the price. And you are going to get more help than any other people that are going to buy this program. I'm going to be with you building we're going to build the content together. I'm going to personally help you get results because I want testimonials of this thing working. So I'm going to spend extra time with you. I'm going to do all this extra awesome stuff, right? Sell it for $5K, get 100 people on there. I think you could probably, and because it's so niche, I think you could probably sell 5 or 10 of them and boom, you have your cash infusion of $25,000 to $50,000.
Sweet. So just do a free webinar. Don't even screw around with anything else.
Just to prove a concept, right? Because then you've got cash flow in your pocket. Then you're like, okay, Laurel, I've got $1,000. Can we do that book test now? Right? Now you've got cash in your pocket.
Okay.
Because that would be a very expensive test if you were to go $47 book to $997. That would be a very expensive test for you. Whereas this test, how many realtors do you think you have in your pipeline right now, like that, just organically?
I don't know, 150 something, maybe more.
150 plus spend your $500 trying to get people like realtors onto this masterclass. live. Give them an incentive to show up live though. You want as many live people on there. So maybe everyone who shows up live gets a free copy of your book. Give them an incentive to show up live. You want to fill that room.
See, I was a good problem child to people can watch.
But these are the things that we have to talk out. And so that's why sometimes when you guys ask me something and ask Laurel, I'm like, I don't have enough context to be able to answer that. But you see how we kind of jammed that out because like so many people are just like, I want to do this, and this. I've seen it all. Guys. I've been running ads in the high ticket coaching space for 4.5 years. I have seen it all. I know it works and I know it doesn't. And I know the secret numbers behind those 2 comma club awards. You'd be surprised.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Who's next?
I'm ready. Laurel, I'm ready.
Miss Nina. Yeah, I know you, girl. I know your voice now.
Okay. Okay, so this is my goal is 21 new law firm clients, so 7 a month, who buy an annual marketing and press plan that I do.
Okay.
And that's $8,000.
Okay. So 21 at 8K in the next 90 days?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're going for 100K in 90 days, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how much?
So
how many have you sold? How many did you sell this past month?
Okay, I haven't sold this plan. I've sold parts of it.
Okay.
So it's a new thing that I came up with. This is what I was doing before is I was like, when I was doing a proposal for a client, I would create this and I was like, why am I doing this for free? Like it was pages and hours of me creating it. And I went to this presentation and these people were like, this is what we sell for $3,500. And I was like, I am an effing idiot. So
we literally just did that. We literally just did that with one of my Lean on Laurel students. Like she was having issues selling her 10K. And so we were like, what if you sold the first part of your program for 2K and call it a navigation session? Scott was on were you at Jazz Kitchen? Scott was on that call. She literally went from selling 0 of her high ticket to selling 3 navigation sessions and 2 high ticket, all within the last week and a half of just implementing that like one thing where she sold the first thing and not the second thing. So yeah,
right.
I could totally see how that would work for you. Like sell like instead of doing that thing for free, get paid. Like that's why I do power hours. I don't do free strategy sessions. The power hour goes right into Lean on Laurel.
Right. So, and the marketing plan, so I'm separating it out. So I could sell 2 separate ones. One's a marketing plan, one's PR, because I get my clients PR. And what I would do is also write them a press release. So I would make a year plan and write the press release and then do the research for the reporters to send it to, that they send it to monthly. So they're not paying like, PR, whoever they pay to send one, like it's set, and that a lot of times gets them posted when a reporter needs filler, right? So then if you combine it, it's the 8,000. If you do them separately, it's a little less for each one. So those are my choices. And
how much is the thing that you're selling now?
I just do kind of like a lot of different one-offs. So when I have like a monthly PR thing that I do for them where I get them, I usually use Harrow, and depending on the plan, it's like $1,500 is what the one most people buy. So I check Harrow and I send it, but I don't send press releases directly for them. I just send, pitches to reporters. And so this one is more, we're going to be proactive rather than reactive.
Mm-hmm.
And
that totally makes sense. So are you selling this offer via phone? The one-off stuff?
Usually. So most of so here's my big thing is I don't have the data because I've never advertised it, because I get like probably all my clients right now are all referrals from other clients. And even today, one of my clients just sent me a text and I got him 4 pitches and I got him in a big publication, and he's like, oh, I just posted you on this private message board that has like 500 attorneys on it. And so I was like,
every attorney pitched this 8K.
Yeah. So that's my
So-
goal. So that's what I'm going to do.
That's awesome. So one of the things too that's super important, right? As we're building out. Actually, I'll grab one of the plans. I know David won't mind me sharing this. So let's see, where's David? So as we were building out his plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
He does cold outreach. And he's like, Laurel, he's like, oh, this is so much work. Like, I want to do something else, right? But if you guys remember, we do things that have the least amount of risk before we do the things that have the least amount of effort, right? Because
Right.
because he wanted to stop doing cold outreach, but this was his result, right? His goal was to get 2 clients at $3,000. That was his goal because he had only gotten 1 last month. And
Right.
so he wants to get 2 clients every single month. So he just needs to double this. So before I gave him any other thing, right? Because that's risk. What is unknown is risk. We never stop what's currently working until we can replace it with something that's going to take us the least amount of effort.
Mhm.
So his current is cold outreach. So his solvable problem is if he wants 2 sales, right? He closes 1 and 3, so he got 1. In order to get 2 clients, all he has to do is double this, right? If he sends 140 messages, he's going to get 2 clients, right? Or
Right.
he can work on his intro message and get double the responses. So those are 2 things that he could work on this month that's going to, without any risk, get him his 2 new clients. At the same time, we're going to try another strategy. So I call it the test tactic, right? Because remember, we're going in order, least amount of risk with the least amount of effort. So in
Right.
your case, referrals is this for you. How do I increase and optimize the amount of referrals I'm getting so that I can pitch them this $8,000 offer? Make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Then the test tactic is going to be your organic 2 steps if you're doing if you're doing my 2-step strategy.
Yeah. So I am. And then I also do send out cold emails, and I've had success with that in the past, but I just haven't done it consistently enough with follow-up recently. And so that's what I'm also doing. So my other thing is every day, because the thing is I can't buy a huge list. Okay. I could, but that's not what works for me in my business. I research the attorneys and I send personalized emails saying, hey, I noticed this about your marketing. I noticed this, I noticed that, and this. So it takes a little longer. And I've gotten big lists and just sent it, and it feels bad and I get no response. And so I'm like, you know what? In the past, what I've done is personalized cold emails. So I'm going to go back to that. So I just do like 5 a day, and then I have to do the follow-up. And, back to what he had said about, imposter syndrome. Like, I don't know why, but I expect perfection and like a response immediately. And when I don't even get a follow-up. And so my new goal is like, I want 100 no's, because then I know people are opening my emails. And when I get 100 no's, I know I'm going to get that many more yeses, because I have a good conversion rate when I talk to people. And I just need to get over the, oh my God, people are like unsubscribe. And I kind of just laugh and like, okay, but so that's what I'm working through. So
yeah,
so that's where I am.
That's a great plan. Cold outreach. Like, I mean, that's the way I booked out my first agency. Cold outreach. We made a list of 100 people. I would do 5 a day. I would go to their website. I would go to their Facebook page, and I would find any little thing that I could find that I could shoot them a little Zoom video and say, hey, I was just looking at your website and I noticed this, this, and this. Have time for a quick call, blah, 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 blah. Right. Cold outreach is still like a really great strategy, but here's a big but. Y'all laugh like we're in kindergarten. She said big but. Your social media matters now more than it ever did, because I got a very high rate of people responding back to me because they went to my Facebook page and saw all of my awesome, valuable videos that I was doing.
Right.
Well, that matters. And so like a lot of people are like, well, cold outreach doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, but cold outreach is part of the bigger ecosystem that you have to have in place. Right. So they have to know, because especially now people are, back in the day, I probably could have gotten away with, not like 4.5 years ago, I probably could have gotten away because the market wasn't as saturated as it is now. But 9 out of the 10 people that I would talk to be like, hey, I'm calling you back because I saw this video and I knew that you knew your stuff.
Right.
Because most business owners get 10 to 11. Like I worked with a small mattress person in Apache Junction, Arizona. Small mattress store, like very mom and pop, like one, like very small. He would get 10 or 11 people a day emailing to do his ads for him. So could you imagine like all the bigger companies,
Right.
like and attorneys, right? And so
Right.
that's why like the entire, ecosystem that I teach you guys matters now more than it ever did, because probably 9 out of the 10 people, you're going to be the one person that has a great social media presence, and they're going to look at you.
Right. Yeah. So and then I also joined some local networking groups just because I found that when you see people face to face, like I've had clients all over the country and all over the world, out of the US as well. But anyway, so I'm kind of doing a little bit of all of it. But I don't have good numbers. So that's the thing, is I need to do better at tracking and consistently not just doing client work, also doing the marketing and then the follow-up. So I'm working on that trifecta of perfection there.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, whenever I first was in Phoenix, we would do Social Savvy Saturday, and I would just invite, because I used to go to networking events too, and I'd be like, hey, Saturday, come to my place downtown, free donuts, I've got mimosas, we're gonna jam on your ads.
I set up like a weekly Zoom call, and like the people that came were all arguing with me about marketing and how it wouldn't work. And I was like, I don't even know why you're here. Why are you here bothering me?
It's fun in person. It's fun in person. And I'd always tell people, hey, like I can take 3 of you guys as private clients here, and they would all fight over who got to work with me.
So I'm gonna figure out how to do that, because I think that's a better idea. So that's mine.
Leverage, yeah, but that's a great example of leveraging something that's already working, right? Because we always want to start where we are. We never want to take away the thing that's giving us money, even though it's hard. We want to keep doing that until we can test something else that can replace it.
Yeah. So thanks, Laura.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I got time for a couple more. Who wants to go? Who wants to go next? Don't be shy. We've had this has been a great. Do you guys agree? This has been a great call. Like you guys are doing really, really good. How many of you guys had like an aha moment just going through this exercise and just like, wow, this is a lot easier than a lot of people are making it out to be? We were laughing on the last call. Have you guys ever seen those ads where people are like, swipe my social media posting schedule, and it's all of these big ass like spreadsheets? I'm like, no, don't get that away from me. That looks complicated and hard. And like, I'm like, no, right? I'm like, no, like literally, like, look at this. Like, if you look how easy this is. Like people want to show like their social media. I'm like, if you only did these 2 things, like that's all you have to do for 90 days in order to reach your goal. Like that's it. None of all of these hard things. Like people create too much work for themselves.
I'll go, Laurel.
Yeah. Hey, Sonia.
Hi. I always get nervous talking to you, Laurel. I don't know why.
I don't bite.
No, you're lovely. You're beautiful. It's just because I still feel a little bit lost with it. That's all it is. It's not you. So I cobbled together something. My goal is to have 20 women in my weekly workshop that I do. I currently have 5 in it, so I need 15 more.
Okay.
So the 3 strategies that I put down. My problem was that I don't have the data, Laurel, so I don't know if my goal was the right one. But the first strategy is, I'm doing the video a day, so organic video marketing.
Yep.
So that's the power content.
Okay.
I don't really know how many I can close. I reckon it's probably about 1 in 15, 1 in 10, something like that. I need to really start tracking that.
Yeah. So let's set a solvable problem for you to solve, right? Because we always want to have a solvable problem that we could fill in the gaps after the 90 days. So I think your solvable problem should be, how many pieces of content do I have to post in order to get X amount of messenger conversations? That would be a really good solvable problem, because at the end of the 90 days, you're going to be like, I have to do this many posts to get like 200 messenger conversations. And then you'll have, out of those messenger conversations, how many of those turned into applications, and how many of those applications turned into, calls. And therefore, so I think a good solvable problem for you would be, how many pieces of content do I have to post to get X amount of messenger conversations?
Okay, yeah, that's really helpful actually.
Yeah, one of my students in the last call discovered that she only needed to have 3 posts in the 90 days to have enough conversations because of the amount of people who would comment in her on her 2-step. That one 2-step would feed her lead flow for the entire month, because when she would go and comment, it would knock it back to the top of the newsfeed. Talk about simplifying your day, huh? To find out, oh, I only need to do 3 2-step posts, and then all the rest can be valuable content, right? Because for those of you guys who went through my organic marketing sprint, what did we learn about? Pipeline equity, right? The more sales type posts we do, goodwill goes down because people see that sales post. The more, so if we know that we could rely on 3 2-steps posts a quarter to fill our entire lead pipeline, we could spend all of our other time putting out 2 high value posts a week. And every time we post that 2-step with reliability, the leads come flowing through because our goodwill is built up with our audience. I just thought that would be a good point, because because Sonia is going through this entire process to where she might find, wow, I don't need to do a video a day. I could get by with 3 of these types of videos and have my entire lead flow for the whole thing. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys through, because it's at first, it's not quality over quantity. For Sonia, it's doing quantity so that she could figure out which of those are quality, so that next 90 days, she only has to produce this type of video and she knows that the lead flow is going to come in. So that's how I'm trying to like micro step you guys into this. So the first 90 days is always the hardest work.
Laurel, my clients are watching the videos and they're saying that a lot of them always come at the right time, and they're saying they're really good videos. They're really helping them it's almost like a expansion of what we do in our workshops together, and it just helps them to remember the things that we're learning and all that kind of stuff. So I'm getting good feedback. I'm not getting new people, but you are watching them. But you mentioned earlier that your videos should be on your profile. I thought they should be on your business page, so that's where I've been putting them.
So I put them on YouTube, business page, and profile.
So I can just put them on both the same video, and that's okay.
I stream it using OneStream to all 3 places.
Okay. And last time we spoke about the women in my Facebook group, and I was saying to you, how do I get them to watch it? None of them have watched my videos to get into my group. They're just coming to me through this one other group, this massive Facebook group that's become it's just very spammy and stuff. So I put a post in there to say, if you want a proper quality group, then come to mine. So I've literally got about 200 women come from there. So they don't know anything about me. They've not seen any of my content. And I friend request them as well as approving them into the group.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to have, I don't know whether I should have more than one strategy, but I thought my strategy number 2 would be to get these 20 women. I need to somehow use that Facebook group. Yep. I have my questions turned on when they come into the group. So they get, one of the questions is, if you want to receive, it's not a question, it's just a statement. If you want to receive emails or whatever, give me your email address, and a lot of them do.
Do a conversation there instead. Do you want me to reach out? Are you interested in doing XYZ and want me to reach out personally to give you this free extra thing? Have a messenger conversation. That'll add to your solvable problem. Remember, everything we do needs to go to our solvable problem. So are you following my group graduation framework?
We spoke about that last time. I worked out exactly what it is that I need to do. And that was going to be my other question to you. Do I record this as like a video masterclass? How is it? I haven't watched your video yet. So I need
go through. I think it's in the Lanyap section, like the group graduation formula. It's really good. It's literally a group funnel.
Okay.
It works really, really well. Because like, we want to use the group in order to bring clarity. People aren't moving forward because they don't know who you are. They don't know what your offer is. They don't know if they can trust you, right? Those are the 3 things that we want to like abolish by using the Facebook group. Is we want them to know, who's Sonia? She can help me here. here's proof that she can help, right? And so I always call it a clarity piece, which could essentially just be like a 1 hour long training, because then all of your community, your Facebook group becomes support to get them through that initial clarity piece of what they need to know, right? So like, let's say, like my $7 program is my clarity piece, right? I'm trying to get you guys to launch your very first ad and understand the strategy, because in Lean on Laurel, I don't spend a lot of time teaching. You guys have all the content. You guys come into the program so we could go to work and get results. I don't spend a lot of time teaching. I mean, we have live workshops, but for the most part, people come into that program already understanding the strategy that they need to do, and we just get to work. And so that's what that group is there for, is like, how can we almost shape people into becoming our perfect client, right? How do we create our perfect client? And so that's why I like to use that group graduation formula, because it's just a great, because like the way that people go wrong with Facebook groups is they just throw a whole bunch of content. They throw people in a group and they just throw content. Notice in the $7 program, I don't throw content at y'all in the group. I take y'all out of the group to come onto these Zoom calls to learn stuff, and y'all have a separate platform to go training. I don't do training inside the actual group, because why? You guys have enough content to go binge watch. And so a lot of times when people come into Facebook groups, people don't move forward because they get overwhelmed. They have so much content coming at them. They think that there's no beginning and there's no end. Right? So in the group graduation formula, there's a beginning and there's an end. And so it's like, what is that one piece of content that we need them to know before they work with us on a full-time scale? That's what that clarity piece. And then you use the group to offer them support to get over that first hurdle. Like one of my clients, like she teaches people how to do organic marketing for their coaching business. And her Facebook group is just focused on getting people to create their offer. Because then once she helps people create their offer, they're like, what's next? Naturally, how do you sell it? So after she helps them create their offer for free, they ascend naturally, because she's the only solution. She just helped them achieve this one milestone. They've spent all this time with her. Yeah, Phyllis just had a really good question. She had that, well, not really a question, a statement. She's like, I have a hard time like with giving away too much information. How many of us know how to lose weight? How many of you guys still pay for a gym membership or a fitness coach or anything like that? Why? Is it because we don't know what to do? No. I know what I need to do. I need someone to kick my ass and be like, stop fucking drinking a bottle of wine a night, you know? Why haven't you lost 2 pounds this week, right? That's what people are paying for, right? People pay to be in Lean on Laurel because I kick their ass. Why the fuck have you not done this? Like this morning on the call, I fussed at him. No one had did the homework. I was like, bye. I was nice. I stayed and I helped them through it, but I was tempted.
Laurel,
No, seriously, it's all about accountability. What's up, Sonia?
sorry.
No, you're good.
So those two strategies, should I add the third with Facebook ads as well?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Let's not add any risk unless I would do power content for sure, just to kind of like start building up your audience, like power content to a freebie that leads them to your Facebook group, right? Or it could be just a value bomb that leads them to your messenger, right? Remember, we're just trying to get to your solvable problem. And in order to get to your solvable problem, it's how many posts do I need to get to have X amount of messenger conversations? You might find that your ads are bringing in messenger conversations so that you have to do less posts organically. So that would be that would probably be my test tactic, one of my test tactics.
Okay.
Because what are you doing right now? You're doing the what's working right now?
For me, what's working is well, having the conversations. So when women ask to join my Facebook group, I do reach out to, I don't reach out to every single one of them, but where they send a message where I think, yeah, I can have a good conversation with you over Messenger, I will then message them. And then I just signed up a lady a couple of weeks ago because we just had, it was just such a short conversation, Laurel. I never imagined I'd be able to convert someone over Messenger, because normally I would be trying to entice them into a call, but I just had a chat and she was just like, yeah, okay, that's it, done, signed up. So that's working. That's pretty much what's working for me at the moment.
So that is your current tactic, group strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
So that is what you need to find out. How can I optimize the group strategy based on what I'm already doing in order to reach my solvable problem? So what do I need to do? How can I optimize to get more bang for my buck with this strategy? And then you could have your test tactic as your organic, if that's what you want to do, or your test tactic as your power content ads that get more messenger conversations. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because remember, all of us should have something that's already working, unless you're starting from scratch, right? But each of us should have a current tactic that we can optimize in order to get our results, and a test tactic in order to help us do less effort. That's always the goal. That's always the goal, right? I work 3 days, 4 hours a day. Every quarter I'm optimizing to work less and less. And I'm probably fully optimized right now. 3 days, 4 hours a day. I'm happy with that. But it took me, working with Nick, my mentor, for 3.5 years to get to where I am now. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to like be able to measure, so that you can optimize, so that we can do the same thing with less effort. That's where ads come in. We don't start with ads. We use ads as a tool to do the thing we're doing organically with less effort. Make sense?
Thanks, Laurel.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I just learn so much every time. I mean, even though I do the homework and I think, yeah, this is great, Laurel's not going to add anything to this. And then you throw something at me and I think, wow, I would never have thought of that. This is just makes more sense. So it's
simple.
Yeah.
Simple scales. People think, complicated things scale, but simple scales. Okay, I've got time for, I see 2 hands up there, so I'm going to wrap up. Camille and Miss Sherilyn. So Camille, what you got, girl? Long time no see. Grandma Camille. I think last time we talked, you just became a grandma, huh? Has it been that long? I think you're on mute, girl. Or maybe Camille stepped away. I'll come back, Camille. Miss Sherilyn.
Hi, so I just have a question about ad spend. So I ran through the numbers. Sorry, I think my webcam is turned funny. Let me look at my list. So when you are deciding your ad spend, are you pretty much always doing half of whatever your a sell would be?
It depends. So the test ad budget should be the price of the thing you're trying to sell. So if you have a $5,000 product, the test budget should be $5,000. And the goal should be to break even. That's the test, right? Our next goal is to get 2x return on ad spend.
Okay, so I was looking at the calculator with a 2x return on ad spend, and I think the example was a 3K program, and in one of the videos I was looking at, and so it was for 1,500. So I just wondered, oh, is it always that? Do you automatically do that? And then, so right now costs are pretty high. When would you say those start coming down to be more realistic?
Probably January. And they're high right now, but don't expect them to come down too low. The ceiling's been raised, right? Ads have gone up. So it's always going to be the cheapest time to run ads is always going to be now. Because if you wait, like if you keep waiting, it's never going to be the perfect time. So I don't worry about like when trying to time the ads. Because at the end of the day, paying a couple extra dollars for a lead or a couple extra dollars for a sale isn't that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. This has been really valuable. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the video that you were talking about, is it the reverse the reverse engineering of the funnel?
I think the one I was watching at the time, I've watched so many videos, but I think it was a cost per lead one.
Oh yeah, on my profile.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it in your YouTube.
Oh yeah. Cause like I said, I stream them to my, all my places. Yeah, that is one of my, like, if you guys have not watched that video yet, the reverse engineering of how I reverse engineer to figure out what my clients cost per lead for webinars and stuff should be. That video is good.
So can I run through some numbers with you? Hopefully these are accurate. I figured these out several days ago, maybe some last week. So I have a 6-month program that is 6,500 to 9,000, depending on if they do a full pay or a payment plan. So I, with like a show up rate of, I just did all of the averages or less because I haven't run this program for a while. I do multiple things. Sadly, that's been a challenge for me. So I do SEO, but I also do marketing coaching and I also do energy work. So I'm always trying to figure out what is my main focus because I love all of them.
Well, they all work together.
I love it when they work together. It's really fun. Like I love to help people clear their blocks and then let's set up your marketing strategy and anyway, we go from there. So in running this, so with a show up rate for 60% and a close rate of 20%, then I did the timesing 0.6 by 0.2 and you get the 0.12. And then
hang on, let me bring up the thing. I'm a very visual person.
I'm just looking at my numbers. So with this, but the bottom line is 3 times the cost per lead was $46.80. And it was,
let me bring this so everyone can see what we're doing. Yeah. Okay. What did you say? Your product is 3.
1 second. I have to leave I'm on full screen. Let me exit that so you can see my numbers again. Okay. So in this particular program, basically it ended up being like $39. Okay. The application goal was 390.
No. Let's start from the beginning. What's your,
okay.
We'll show up rate. We'll take everyone through the exercise. It's 6,500 you said?
Yes. So 6,500 if they do a full pay, 9,000 if they do a payment plan.
Okay. We'll just do that. And so
okay. I ran this on the 6,500, I think.
Okay.
So, and I just did the averages. So 60% show up rate.
Hang on. I'm a little bit, so 32. So your acquisition, $32.50 to make a $6,500 sale. Okay. Just because I'm doing this for everyone to watch how we're doing this. So she's got a $6,500 product. In order to get 2 times her return on ad spend, she has to acquire a customer at $32.50, right? To get a $6,500 sale. So that's 2 times. This is every funnel person's minimum that you need to get after the test. Okay. So your show up rate is what? 60%?
Sorry, my kids came in right now. Okay. So I don't know the numbers on this because I've always gotten them through my Facebook group, but I wanted to test this. Will you guys close the door, please? So I ran the averages, 60%, close rate 20%. Okay. And then the 0.12, 390 for an app goal, $39 for someone to watch the webinar, which made
you're going way too fast, girl.
Okay,
I'm like,
sorry.
So 60% time, because I want everyone to get value out of what we're doing here. So what we're doing is we're going to multiply the show up rate 60% times 0.20, which is her close rate, which is average. So if you have a closer, 20% is average. If it's yourself, it's usually 30. So she did 0.60 times 0.20 equals 0.12, 0.12. So 0.12 times 32.50 is going to give us what her cost per app should be. So 0.12 times 32.50 is 390. Is that what you got?
Yes.
Yep. So now we know that she could pay up to $390 per application in order for these numbers to make sense. So, okay. So cost per app, 390. And then 10% of the people because you have a webinar or VSL?
So I wanted to update my webinar. I have a webinar. Usually in the past, I would do a Facebook challenge to the webinar to a call. And I wanted to move it to be at some point more automated, not right now, overnight. Close the door, please.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we want 10% of people who watch the webinar to fill out an app. So what we're going to do is 390 times 0.10 is $39, right? So we're willing to pay $39 for people to watch the webinar. Okay. So this is where reality starts to set in and people are like, damn, webinar funnels are expensive, right? This is why we start with the discovery call accelerator and not, right, webinars. And so now, right, we want 40% of the opt-ins to watch the webinar. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this $39 and times 40. So this is going to give us the cost per lead that she could afford to spend. So 39 times 0.40 is $15.60. So if she's running her webinar ads, right, she knows that she has to hit an average cost per lead at $15.60. And so typically what we do is we're going to run each ad set that we're testing at $10 a day. And then we're going to run it until the 3 times the projected cost per lead. So 3 times, let's see, 3 times 3, $46. So she's going to run this campaign for this ad set until $46. And if she has no leads, she turns it off. Does everyone understand what we just did? Are those the same numbers that you have, Sherilyn?
Yeah.
Yep, you did it right.
So really when I ran this through with my main programs, I ran the calculator, and like some of them, the cost per lead was so expensive. Like I think I don't have this right in front of me, but my low ticket funnel was like crazy high. Like I basically needed to get my cart value like way higher, and it was so stressing me out. Like looking at those numbers and where it needed to be. And I know with a low ticket funnel, and obviously this example that we're talking about is not low ticket, but for those numbers to work, like getting it higher and higher in the cart was very stressful for sure.
Yeah, I always tell people, like, if you're running a low ticket offer, like you want your cart value to be like $80 to $130 at least for ads to even work. Like it's like low ticket offers are like ridiculous to like try to get dialed in. Mine was a unicorn. Like people look at my $7 offer. Like, I mean, I'm still doing pretty good. My acquisition costs have gone up. Like my acquisition costs are anywhere between $11 and $21 is like where I like to be. My offer is, guys, it's 4.5 years old. I've got lots of social proof. I've got lots of you beautiful people commenting on my ads, telling people how awesome I am. If I were to start my $7 program now, it would not work. I guarantee it. I am nothing special. It was all about timing. I started something when everyone else was doing total transparency. Like if I launched this right now, this would not be successful. There's just too much. I was one of the first people to do this. And so it was all about timing, because everyone wants to try to do a $7 membership, and it's 4.5 years of optimizing. It's hard. It's hard. I don't recommend it to anybody. I wouldn't attempt this myself.
Thank you so much, Laurel. I really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, thank you for letting me run that exercise I just did with Sherilyn. I geek out to that. That is my favorite. That is one of my favorite things to do, because why? Math makes you money. Well, I gotta go, guys. I think I got everyone that had their hand up. I appreciate everyone. Guys, let me know, like, go back through the exercise. How many of you guys are rethinking the way that you were doing things now? You're like, okay, I've seen Laurel do this with a couple of people now. I got it. I want all of us to go into the holidays having done this exercise, so that you guys know coming out of the holidays, we're going to kick some ass. And if you want me to help you kick your ass, you know what you want to do, right? The bonuses for Lean on Laurel are going to be awesome. The 2-day accelerator is just one of the bonuses. I got my creative director and me to upload all of our ad graphic templates. And so it's going to make a lot of people's lives a lot easier being able to, use some of our ad templates. And we've got some really cool stuff that we're throwing into the program. But most of all, guys, think about it's Lean on Laurel is less about the content. It's more about what we did today. Like, this is what we do several times. So I will see you guys later. Love all of you guys. See you guys later.